Good morning, my classy people. Wayne Bolden here at the SpeedKing studios. It is Thursday morning, right, early in the morning, here finishing up some work, obviously, here in the studio. And we're literally one day out from the Kentucky Oaks tomorrow and 2 days out from this year's running of the 151st Kentucky Derby. Wish each and every one of you a safe and happy and fun national holiday for sure. And I thought that it would be time for us to take a look outside the box a little bit when it comes to the Derby and really viable long shots. There's going to be some really big prices in here, and of course, we all have our top picks. Everybody know who I like on top. Obviously, the number 18 horse Sovereignty, and of course, my Infinity that I have for Sandman. I just think the world of him, and of course, the other Godolphin runner, East Avenue, coming out of the 12 hole. And Rodriguez should run well. But my top two picks, obviously, is Sovereignty, right? Yeah, we caught the vapors, right? It is a Godolphin runner, of course, and Sandman. But that being said, let's think a little out of the box in terms of long shots, right? Who is a viable long shot or two in the race that, if things don't go according to plan, who is sneaky good? Okay, who can slide in there at 20 or 30 to 1 and have a legitimate shot on paper that says this shouldn't be far-fetched? So we're going to take a look at that for sure. And remember our tip sheets. Hey, listen, thanks everybody for purchasing them. Just so much pouring out of love, and the money goes back into the studio. They will be available right up to Oaks Day and, of course, up to Derby Day. Just email us at speedking24@yahoo.com and or text our office 732-804-0637. I'll have the cell phone with us from the studio as well as my laptop. I'm going to be out a little bit this weekend and having a bunch of fun. So let's take a dive in to a viable long shot. Well. And you know where I'm going, y'all, right? Because neither one of these horses are on my top four picks. So it's about that time to mention his name. Yeah, Mr. Rolex. Well, he's on TIZTASTIC, the number 14 horse. Installed at 20 to 1. No, they didn't just install the old Rolex, Joe Rosario. And my boy, Steve Asmussen. Well, I mean, if you look close and you don't even need your, magnifying glass for sure, right? Well, you can catch the vapors on this one, right? TIZTASTIC. Everybody know that I love this horse going into the Louisiana Derby. Made a nice score with him at 7 to 1. Go back and look at my Louisiana Derby. Well, TIZTASTIC 20 to 1 on the morning line going in and on his way to 40 to 1 probably. Well, TIZTASTIC is trained by the Hall of Famer Asmussen, who is 0 for whatever in the Derby. Now, wouldn't it be ironic? No fanfare, not a lot of press coverage, flying under the radar, and Mr. Asmussen gets his first win. Wouldn't that be par for course? I mean, I thought he should have won with Curl, and you heard that from me a million times. We wish you'd shut up about that, SpeedKing. And I thought Gunrunner was just brutal, right? He should have won it. So I thought he should have had two to his credit easily. And Epicenter got caught down the rail. Here come Richie, put some respect on Richie's name. But now, he's got two in here, and no one's really talking about him, so this is probably the best way to go in if you're a trainer, you are the leading trainer in North America and all that fanfare, and now you ain't getting a whole lot of, publicity going into the Derby. But I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody's sneaky good with the winningest trainer in America, Steve Asmussen, it would be TIZTASTIC, y'all, the number 14 horse, right? Hey, and you wouldn't get the services of Joel Rosario. Well, this one is by Tiz the Law. You know who he is, right? I think he finished second in the Derby and won the Travers or something like that. On the back end by Tappet and owned by Winchell. Hey, one is Steve Asmussen's top owners. Well, this one has a record of 3 wins from 8 starts, 1 second, and 2 thirds. Hey, for a cool $1.5 million. TIZTASTIC has earned $1.5 million. He has, right? Now, out of the 8 starts, this horse started his career back there as a 2-year-old at Kentucky Downs, or really at Saratoga, the first one against Chancellor McPeak, and ran 5th that day. And then they took him to Kentucky Downs on the turf twice, where he won back-to-back. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. In the Grade 3 Street Sense race as a 2-year-old, October 27th, he ran second in that race behind Sovereignty, who's my top pick in the race. Okay, now realize that TIZTASTIC only had 3 races up to that race into the Street Sense. He comes out of that race, goes into the Kentucky Jockey Club stake race, run 3rd behind First Resort, which I believe is a Godolphin runner, and Jonathan Way, the highly regarded Jonathan Way. So that wasn't a bad race in November the 30th. Then they turned him out as a 2-year-old, and then he comes back on the scene 2 months later in January at Oaklawn Park in the Southwest. Once again, did not disgrace, ran 3rd by 2 at 16-1 behind the old SpeedKing, right? So we know what was going on there. And Sandman ran 2nd, but he did run 3rd in the Southwest. And if that wasn't enough, he came back 28 days later at Oaklawn with Jose Ortiz in the yards, and ran in the Rebel and ran 5th that day, was 4 wide. I thought he had a bunch of traffic problems in that day at 5-1. Cold Battle won, and Sandman ran 3rd. Okay, now that's February 23rd, so that's his 2nd race as a 3-year-old. And then, you know, on March 22nd, here comes the Louisiana Derby, which I absolutely loved him. I couldn't believe I got 7-1 that day. Can't believe he's going to be 20 or 30-1 in the Derby. Well, go back and look at my Louisiana Derby. But here's the real interesting thing. Going into the Louisiana Derby, enters Mr. Rolex, right? Joel Rosario, highly acclaimed in accolades with Breeders' Cup and Derby wins, See Nick Go, and many others, right? You know, and Joel gave him a pretty ride that day in Louisiana Derby on the 22nd of March. Now he's back in 43 days, 42 days or whatever, which is about 5 or 6 weeks for sure. And again, okay, he's stepping in. He did run 2nd to Sovereignty, and Sandman was in the Street Sense race 4 or 5 races back. You know, this horse is sneaky good, and you know you're going to get a pristine ride at 25 or 30-1 with Joel Rosario. Hey, listen, man, this horse is on the improve, and all of his speed figures go up and up and up for sure. Ran the best number of his life last time on the sheets. And again, he's 6 weeks away from that last race, and should be freshened up in that last race, should not knock him out, even though it's his top. So my top long shot to upset the race, if anybody was to do it, it would be TIZTASTIC. I mean, nobody should be shocked that I like Steve Asmussen horses. Nobody should be shocked that I think Joel Rosario is the best in the business, right? Maybe outside of Javier Castellano. They're a little older, these cats. But listen, man, this is going to get a pristine ride. And to me, TIZTASTIC is a perfect horse. So, again, on some of your off tickets, you're allowed to play more than one horse. I would use this horse in the Oaks double because he's so big in the Derby, right? So I'm going to hook him up with a few doubles over there in the Oaks, and just to be sitting there live, $1, $2, $3, $4 doubles for sure back to the Oaks, right? And again, our top long shot play here If there was one, it would be TIZTASTIC. Now, the next one enters the number 10 horse, Grande. Well, Grande is a nice horse and ran a big number last time. If he has one knock, he's only got 3 starts, right? And again, you know, he's 20 to 1 on the morning line too, the number 10 horse. Trained by who? The Hall of Famer Todd Pletcher, and you got Johnny V in the on. This horse ran second in the Wood Memorial, and you've heard me say it before. I thought he was better than Rodriguez. Listen, I like Rodriguez, obviously the son of Authentic, and you know my position with Authentic. Okay, we have some interest in it. But this horse was wide on both turns. Dylan Davis had him wide. He ran a beautiful race, Grande. Hey, Dylan Davis was in the arms, and now Johnny V's back up. His 4th start, he should have learned something out of the wood. And to me, at 21 on his way to 30 to 1, deserves a little bit. Hey, and if that ain't enough, this one's by Curlin on the back end by Warfront. So this horse got a bright future. And by the way, he does own one of the 2 fastest speed figures last time in here. I think the only one that's ever run faster is Journalism, right? And, you know, Sovereignty ran a number that was a little bit slower, but that's a big race this horse ran. And that was some 28 days ago. Should have recovered. I think Grande is a sneaky long shot that should be covered on off tickets as well. And our third one, we're going to go right back to Asmussen, Publisher, right? The old Publisher horse. Just like the Journalism, the old Reporter horse, extra. Well, we got publishers in the race. We got journalists in the race. I mean, what's going on? You know, extra, all kinds of news horses around here. Well, Publisher is still a maiden. No, he didn't. I said he's still a maiden, right? At 30 to 1. And guess who is in the on? They went and got the services of Irad Ortiz. You think this 30-year-old boy want to win a Derby? Well, how ironic would it be if Asmussen won it with a maiden? Wow. I don't know if that's ever been done. Somebody fact check me on that. But Publisher at 30 to 1, the number 13 horse, Steve Asmussen, obviously I don't need to tell you about him. Irad, I don't need to tell you about him. And this one is still a maiden, SpeedKing. He is still a maiden. 0 for 7 with 2 seconds and 3 thirds for 400,000 by the Triple Crown winner American Pharaoh on the back end by Proud Citizen. I believe the coach trained Proud Citizen. Hey, listen, man, this one ran second in the Arkansas Derby behind Sandman. Beat Cold Battle down. Cold Battle ran third. He beat Cold Battle by 4. So, again, if you like Cold Battle, I don't know how you can't not like Publisher other than he's a maiden. So I think there's another horse that's already 30 to 1 on the morning line. So I think you hook him up in some doubles on the other side. Why don't you just do a all Oaks back to Publisher and get it out the way, right? And maybe do a couple pullouts, right? There's only 12 horses in the Oaks. That's $12. At least you'll be covered with a 30 or 40 to 1. I think Publisher also should be on the Longshot watch. That's what I just called it, the Longshot watch. So there it is. I mean, thinking outside the box. Our top Longshot to maybe upset this whole thing is the old TIZTASTIC. Y'all know what it is. I loved him in the Louisiana Derby. Our second one is Grande. Hey, Todd Pletcher's got a nice horse. The number 10 may need a little more experience, but you'll hear about him down the road. He's 20 to 1. And then the other Asmussen horse, Publisher, at 30 to 1. So for us, in order, none bigger than TIZTASTIC with Mr. Timex. No, Mr. Rolex, right? You're going to get a pristine ride. Our top long shot to upset the whole apple cart would be TIZTASTIC, number 14. And then our second would be Grande, that very talented horse who probably should have won that race if you ask me. The number 10, and then we round it out with the 13. By the way, Asmussen horses are 13 and 14. They're right next to each other. So 14, 10, 13. Those are the 3 outside the box thinking at huge prices. My name is Wayne Bolden. I want to hook them up in some of the Oaks Derby doubles for sure. That way I'm already alive when I get to the Derby for sure. But I tell you, TIZTASTIC, I wouldn't be shocked if Joel gave them all a jock lesson down the lane. It is Mr. Rolex. He'll be on time, y'all. The best in the business. My name is Wayne Bolden. I'm the SpeedKing. 14, 10, 13, the outside the box, right? Long shots for sure. Stay classy, y'all, in all that you do. Remember to have a bunch of fun on Derby weekend, of course. Have some fun. Thanks so much for your support. Tip sheets will be available right up to race time. SpeedKing24 at yahoo.com. SpeedKing24. Email us. Got 5 payment methods. You're telling me TIZTASTIC? Maybe you're going to get a pristine ride. Who is Joel Rosario? The best in the business.